welcome to the Local Sports Coffee Shop podcast, where we discuss all things sports and coffee. I'm your host, Shane Shackford, also known as Coach Shack. You can see full show across all types of social media, including Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. All right, guys. Hey, how you doing? This is Shane Shackford welcoming you to another episode of the Local Sports Coffee Shop. Got a little bit of a struggle right now. My mouse decided to die. So, I can't figure out, when we were young and we got started on a computer, we talked about, having to figure out that thing, and the mouse and everything. And now, I figure, I can use my arrow keys or whatever to get going. No, you can't. But you can't do it. So I kind of struggled right there for a minute. I apologize for that. But hey, I welcome you guys to another great episode of the Local Sports Coffee Shop, where we talk about all things sports and coffee. My name is Shane Shackford, and I appreciate you guys taking time out this evening or in the morning or whenever you decide to watch. Means a lot to me that you trust me to hear me talk a little bit. So thank you for that. Before we get going, we're going to talk a little bit about our topics tonight. We're going to be talking about Kentucky basketball, that roller coaster that it is in Lexington. Now we're on an uptick a little bit after a big win at Auburn. Going to LSU tonight. Should be a really good ball game down there. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the 13th region. Games coming up for Pineville and the region as well. Talk about the top 10. We'll talk about state leaders. We'll also talk about the NBA All-Star game. And I know a lot of you guys probably don't watch the NBA like regularly, but a little bit of a controversy there about the All-Star game and stuff going on. We'll touch a little bit on that. And then got some headlines. We're going to talk about Kentucky football. We're going to talk about the Daytona 500. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. So I'm really glad you decided to spend a little time with me. Means a lot. Means a lot to me. Now, we're going to add a little something to our podcast, if you will. I like music, and I know a lot of you guys do too. I got an eclectic taste. I touch on a lot of different things, but one thing that I like music across the board. I like the 80s. Some tunes that I was following we're going to talk about, or listen to rather, by Ella Langley and Cole Whitzel. That's Why We Fight. Easy Lover, you remember that song from the 80s, Philip Bailey, Phil Collins. New artist out, Mary Cutter, Devil's Money, really enjoy that song. Old classic, Policy of Truth, Depeche Mode. Hail to the King, Avenged Sevenfold for my metal guys out there. And then go back to my 80s and 90s with Come Undone by Duran Duran. A great song by Alan Parsons Project, Games People Play. And a nice 90s grunge song, Freak, by Silverchair, one of my favorites, cruising around with Liz in the red S10. So got a little mix of that tonight. I hope you enjoy it. If you can hear it in the background, I don't want to go too loud. I don't want a big noise where you can't hear me talk and I can't understand you guys what you're saying. So like I said, just be taking my comments all night long. I see you, Nick. Appreciate you, man, for your support. Let's talk Kentucky basketball. That seems to be always a good topic. Kentucky basketball has been about as up and down as any roller coaster you can imagine. it's just one of them things, guys. It's college basketball. It's a lot going on, and we're talking about the Wildcats here. Just up and down. If you're a Kentucky basketball fan, you better have a strong stomach, guys. It's going to be a wild ride. We're sitting at 18-7 currently, and we're 8-4 in the SEC. That puts us somewhere around 3 or 4 seed to get a double bye in the SEC tournament in 2 weeks. If we can hang on to that, we are 7-3 on the road. And I got a statement here I want to read you from John Calipari. He said, and in context, we are a better road team. Man, that's a heavy statement. Very, very heavy statement. You figure Kentucky basketball, since you can remember, and I can remember, we don't lose at home. We just don't. And we've lost 3 in a row at Rupp at one time. I think we might have broke that. I think we did, but, But Cal says we're a better road team. That's interesting to me. What do you think? Are we a better road team when we're at home? We got one of the greatest home court advantages in all of college basketball. In all of college basketball. I want you to think about that for a minute while we talk about our sponsorship. Really, I thank you guys at Home Helpers. Been my initial sponsors my studio, sponsors what you see, and I'm so thankful for you all. We picked up a new one from Pineville. Want to mention them, the Blue Room Billiards Hall. Fine establishment there in downtown Pineville. I love playing pool. Listen, it had not been for a pool table at Southeast Community College in Cumberland, I don't know that I'd have got through college. And, but I enjoy pool, and thanks to the guys at the Blue Room Billiards Hall for your support. I thank you very much for that. And speaking of great sponsorship, I want to talk about Home Helpers. Home Helpers is our title sponsor. Oops, sorry about that. Let me talk about that just a second. Home Helpers is our title sponsor, and if you are looking for senior care for an aging parent or loved one, or you're a new mom or a working parent who could use an extra hand, Home Helpers of Southeast Kentucky are the caregivers to help you. For seniors, family, and those recuperating, Home Helpers plans are tailored just for you. Call Home Helpers for a free in-home consultation at 606-657-9441. Home Helpers, making life easier for you. Make sure you call today at 606-657-9441 or visit us at homehelpershomecare.com/London, Kentucky. So thank you guys very much for your support of the show. Greatly appreciated. Now, let's get back to the topic of Kentucky basketball. We're talking about Cal's statement that Kentucky is a better road team. And if you look last night, not last night, at Saturday rather, forgive me. We talk about, you got a situation, where Kentucky, we won some big games on the road, and, that's a big accomplishment in the SEC. You got a better road record in the SEC than you do at home, and usually that's not true. Most of the time in the SEC, you are probably well above 500 at home, and at or below 500 on the road. Kentucky's flipped. 7-3 on the road in the SEC, and beat a good Auburn team at home 70-59 Saturday. And you think about it, in the last 10 days, Kentucky has went from 126 in total defense to 81. 126 to 81 in a week. Last week we had talked about how the whole SEC scoring the ball, do we have to score in the hundreds to beat people, top seven. And then you look at what we did at Auburn, holding them to 422 from the 3-point line, 18%. And then beat them on the glass 39-36. And by the way, when Kentucky wins the glass battle, they're 12-0. Very, very interesting concept right there, guys. I mean, you know, we were talking defense and rebounding were non-existent. Now all of a sudden, you know, here we are. It makes you wonder, I mean, you know, as the season wears on, you know, maybe John Calipari knows what he's talking about. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. They want, fire Cal, fire Cal, fire Cal. No. I mean, I think it's quite obvious that Kentucky knows what they're doing. The coaching staff of Kentucky does. Obviously. And I mean, you know, you got a situation there where you got so much height and athleticism that it's something. I mean, you're talking height, you know, athleticism, get to the glass. Hugo has played himself into the NBA draft after probably being a non-factor. And now here you are, he is all of a sudden in a conversation to be in the NBA draft. And he was probably at one time probably the third ranked big that we had in Lexington, behind Bradshaw and behind is it Big Z, you know? So obviously something's turning right, and maybe we are better. Some teams are. In my 21 years of coaching, yeah, I've seen teams. I've had teams that we were better on the road than we ever were at home. And I think it might be mindset. It might be, you know, one of them things, you know, and Philip, I agree with you. I think they aren't. Well, I see that we may be better home. Do you think it is because dedicated to UK though? I mean, so are you saying? And I'm not arguing. Are you saying that they're just because of the loyalty factor that they look at every game equally, as far as okay, we're at home, we got to play so and so, but when we're on the road, we got to play so and so. So are they seeing it, you know, that way? And I see your point. You know, tradition comes from guys who stay 4 years. I respect that. It means more. I respect that too. You're absolutely right. It's obvious with Reed Sheppard. It must mean something more. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that. But that's interesting. I hadn't thought of it like that. You know, maybe it is. Maybe it's all equal, and you know, you don't get. You know how it is in high school basketball. You get up for certain games. You know, at Pineville, we get up to play Millsboro. We get up to play Knox Central, Barberville, Lean Camp. You know, the games in our locale. If we played Bell County, we'd be up. You know, so play Harlan, we are up, and I respect that. So, is it tradition that brings about home court advantage? That's interesting. That's an interesting take. I could see that. Good. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Again, you know, people are calling the Auburn the Hemmis family spreader. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're right. It means something to Jeff and Stacy. Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. But, you know, again, you know, maybe that's the way it is. So is the feeling then that home court advantage is no longer a factor? Is it just another game? Is it? That's interesting. I'd like to hear y'all's take on that. I would. Philip's got a great point, and I respect that. I do. They do. The old cats did defend. Listen, In the 80s, you didn't want to go to Rupp. You really didn't. It was packed to the ceiling, 27,000, screaming from the front row to the back row and everything in between. It really was. And I don't know, man. You look at college basketball as a whole. The Blue Bloods are still pretty good. They are. But they're not what it used to be. When you went to Chapel Hill, you was in a dogfight. It didn't matter, record, whatever. If you go to Cameron Indoor and play Duke, you had to go to Allen Fieldhouse, play Kansas. It was different. It was a different environment. You couldn't prepare for that. But now, I kind of see it. Maybe the way it is now that, across the board, not just Kentucky, but guys are making one-year stops at all these high major places, that home court advantage is kind of, maybe it's kind of going the way of the dinosaur. People saying, it's really tough to hold a grudge against the kids. They're just trying to get ahead, and a tough percentage of young men who get doctorate. Absolutely. I think, what is it? You have better luck getting struck by lightning to be drafted in the NBA. And, boys, they got one shot at it, as far as that goes. And the G League now is an option, and going overseas is an option now. That's good and everything, but I agree with you. It's a business. We talked about that, a couple weeks ago. We talked about how it's college basketball. If you think it's a amateur sport, no, it's not. When the NIL came in and now the transfer portal, every move is a business decision. I mean, it is. It is for whoever. I mean, it's a business decision for that kid. I mean, they're going to go to bigger schools, into bigger Power 5, Power 6, whatever. They're going to go to those schools because of the NIL money is greater at those schools. It just is. And the NCAA is fooling itself if it thinks it's running an amateur-based organization, at least in college football and college basketball. At least in that. They're not. And I agree, Philip. You can't hold it against kids. I mean, if I had a boy or a girl that, All-American, McDonald's All-American, and they wanted to go to school X, and they're going to make X amount of dollars, and it's going to help them get set and going forward in life. How do you fuss that? You can't fuss that. You can't. I appreciate that. Looking ahead to, one more thing about Auburn. Antonio Reeves. If Antonio Reeves is not an All-American candidate, you would have to really convince me about some of these other guys. The kid is an absolute All-American. Absolute. Had 22 points to lead the Cats. Adu Thiero. Where does this kid come from? Grew 3 inches or 2 or 3 inches over the summer, put weight on, looks like a different kid. Dominant physical kid. Had 14. Rob Dillingham had 11. Ugo had 7 points and 11 rebounds to go about 2 or 3 blocks. Big nights all the way around. You look at that for Kentucky, the depth they have is unbelievable. It is. It's completely, it's crazy. If it all starts playing together, there's no team in America got what they got, 1 to 9. They don't. And actually, the ESPN mock draft came out, I think, yesterday. Had 5 kids from Kentucky in the draft. Rob Dillingham going 3rd overall to San Antonio. Reed Sheppard going 12th overall to Chicago. DJ Wagner going 27th overall to Washington. Hugo Ornieso going 38th overall to Memphis, he wasn't even in the draft. And Justin Edwards going 51st overall to Indiana. So you have 5 guys in the draft, and that's crazy numbers. And that's not even counting Aaron Bradshaw, Trey Mitchell, Antonio Reeves. I mean, you got to figure 1, 2, or 3 of those guys are going to get looked at. They have to, right? I mean, am I wrong? Am I missing something right here? 7-footers that can run and don't grow on trees. 7-footers that can block shots at any angle of the rim doesn't grow on trees. 20-point per game scorers don't grow on trees. And that's the 3 guys that ain't even in this. And I'm going to argue that those 5 guys, Dilly, Reed, DJ, Ugo, and Edwards, I don't argue that. I don't. I mean, they're young kids. Take a shot at them. Especially, top end. But what's the other thing? Listen, you may see 7 or 8 guys in the NBA draft. And I know that'd be a record. That'd have to be a record, right? I think the record's at, 5? The school had 5, and Kentucky's had that. So, what do you think? 7, 8 guys? That's crazy. I'm looking ahead here at LSU. They're 13-12. They'll play 9 o'clock tomorrow night on ESPN. They're 5-7 in the SEC. They have wins. Listen to this before you think, we're going down there and we're going to wipe them out. They beat South Carolina at Columbia. They beat Mississippi at home. And they won at Texas A&M in College Station. They can play. Excellent coach. Matt McMahon. One of the best coaches in college basketball. One of the best young coaches. You'll hear that name keep going up. Man can coach. If you remember, he's at Murray State a few years ago. Had a guy named John Morant. Yeah, mean coach. So, he can recruit. He's rebuilding the program after the mass exodus from Will Wade and the NCAA scandal and what have you. So, just a picture of LSU. They're averaging 77 points a game, which is 248th in D1. They're giving up 74 points, which is 135th in D1. And they average 35.9 rebounds a night, good for 78th in the country. The Cats are 93-28 overall against LSU, but they have no wins at LSU since 2020. So, we need a win down there. We need all the wins we can get right now. I think, I really do. Any win now builds your resume, gets you ready for a tournament. So, that being said, before I get done about LSU, do you remember the Mardi Gras Miracle? You old guys, think back with me. The Mardi Gras Miracle. The night where Kentucky comes back from 66-37 in the second half. Great coffee. Come back from 66-37 to win 99-95. You remember, Jeff Brasso hits a 3 from the corner. Andre Reddick goes crazy. Jamel Martinez makes a huge play. And I had a T-shirt. It's funny. My sister ran the bookstore at Southeast at Cumberland. And whenever the T-shirts would come out from the bookstore, Kentucky, UK, they found their way down to Southeast. So I always was there when the box come in. I was getting a T-shirt. And I had one that said it got to be the shorts. And if you remember those shorts, they were the striped ones. Patino had taste. He did. He really did. He had taste. And they were the striped shorts, wild looking. Yeah, had to be the shorts. So I always think about that when they talk about the LSU comeback. Got to be the shorts. So, hey, if you're hearing me, Kentucky, right now, Break out the old stuff. Keep breaking it out. We have broke out some old stuff. Let's break it all out. Wild shorts and all. Let's get the denims out from '96. Let's really go all to pieces. I love those uniforms. A lot of people didn't like them, but I liked them. So, but it was Converse too, and I don't know if Converse and Nike can get along long enough to say, okay, you can wear them shorts one more time. But anyhow, I digress. So that being said, all right. Let's go on. Let's talk. Let's talk about our local sports here, Pineville sports going on right now. Let's talk about boys basketball first. Boys basketball is 18-8 currently. Got a big win at Millsboro Monday night, 66-57. If you didn't see the article, it was written in the paper by me. Sawyer Thompson, with 34 points, breaks the 2,000-point plateau in his career, and also grabbed his 500th rebound. So congrats, Sawyer. Well-deserved honor. Kid works his tail off. He's a gym rat of a high caliber. And, you know, he eats it, he lives it, he breathes it. And he's one of the very best out there. If you can show me 5 better players in the 13th, you've shown me 5 All-Staters, I would say. Kid's unbelievable. I'm telling you. And he's just junior too, so a lot bigger stuff ahead for him as well. Now I also want to mention in that ball game, thank you, Miss Sally, I know a guy. I know a guy. Anyways, it is gorgeous hat. But anyways, going on, you know, to win that ball game, we had to. Sawyer couldn't do it by himself, and Ashton Moser comes up with 18. Xander Garrison comes up with 14, and played really well together. And they're cousins, so it's kind of a family affair all the way around. You know, Sawyer, I watched him grow up in that gym. I've seen him play with my boys, Cameron and Andrew, growing up down there in the corner, and I've seen him and Eli and Cam and Andrew. They hashed it out sometimes. It was interesting, but it was also so much fun to see them grow up and play together and stuff, and see what they've done with their lives is I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. So, but last night we go to Corbin, took one on the chin. Very physical ball game, and don't want to go too deep into that. But Corbin, very physical, played well. Congratulations to them. Sawyer led us with 22. White Caldwell had 9, and Caden Robbins had 8 for the Mountain Lions. So we go on to tomorrow night, big ball game in the Gym City. We got Harlan at home. Tip is 7:30. JB at 6. So come out, last home game of the year for the Mountain Lions before the district tournament next week. Come out and support the kids, get a chance, come down, get you about to eat, you know, somewhere in town there, make a night of it. Our concession stand is top notch. Got great food in there as well, got great popcorn. Listen, I'm a connoisseur of fine popcorn in the 13th region. I put Pineville in top 5 all day long. Good eating. Dusty Allen, good buddy of mine, the archery coach, runs the concession stand. They do a phenomenal job. So come out and support. We sure appreciate it. Looking ahead at the district tournament, we'll talk more about that next week. I won't see you before the girls, so we'll talk a little deeper about the girls. On Tuesday at 6 o'clock, Knox Central, the top seed, will play Barberville, the 4 seed. On Wednesday, Pineville, the 2 seed, will play the 3 seed Lincoln at 7:30. And I think maybe Tuesday at 7:30 too. If somebody sees that number and knows it right off the top of the head, throw it up here so I can see it. I think it's 7:30 both games. And then on Friday at 7:30 will be the district finals. All that played at Lincoln High School in Corbin. Now, let's talk about the ladies. The ladies are 19-7 currently. Saturday played a tough Danville Christian team, 23-2, top seed in the 12th region right now, number 1 team in the 12th region rather. Beat them 61-40. Nadine Johnson, our star guard, had 22 points, but injured her ankle during the ball game. And then from there we had Grace Mbagwa. Oh my gosh, 6'4", super athletic. Her tell that she is a high D1 prospect. Heard the name South Carolina batted around, talking about her. Heard the name Oral Roberts. Heard the name of Liberty. Obviously, kid must be super high caliber player. So she had 22 against us. So congratulations, Devil Christian, going forward. Monday night at Knott Central without Nadine playing, we took a loss there. Rachel Howard and Cam Builder led us with 8 points apiece. Ava Arnett added 7, and Mally Smith added 5 to the attack. Hard play with that point guard. And, our kids, of course, went to Knott County, went to Hyman to win. Played everything they had, just come up short. They'll be all right. Their next ball game is Thursday, tomorrow, at Perry Central. Again, Coach Elgie Green plays competition. He plays people, and he plays these games getting his team ready to win at the postseason level. So, listen, when you play talent, and that's the same thing with Coach Levy, Coach Brad Levy, doing the same thing, playing at Corbin, bringing Harlan in, going to Millsboro late. Everything we done with our schedule is the same way. We want to play competition to be better when the big games come, so, we're going to keep fighting both teams. And, next week, like I said, district tournament, come out, support the Mountain Lions and the Lady Lions. We sure appreciate it. And you're going to see a good show. I can promise you that. So, that being said, let's take a little coffee break, if you will. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming up in the 13th region as a whole. And my mouse there it is. I'm sorry, it's beating on it. It's about dead, guys. I'm telling you, the mouse is not a beast no more. It's interesting. So, but when we come back, we will discuss more of the 13th region, and we'll get going here. And like I said, follow us across social media, guys. We're all over the place. We're trying to grow the brand here a little bit. While we're at break, you got a second? Follow us on the following places, if you will, and we sure appreciate it. And take a little quick coffee break. Let me see this here. Yep, there you go. Follow the shop. Take a second there, talk to us a little bit. Follow us. We'd sure appreciate it. You are watching the Local Sports Coffee Shop. We are back. Had to take a little coffee break right there. Hope you guys are enjoying a nice cup of Joe or whatever you're enjoying. If it's not coffee or pop, don't say it on here. I'm playing. I kid. All right. Let's talk about 13th region. Talk about our guys and gals in the 13th right now. I always enjoy doing this, talking about statistical leaders, because it's hard to argue stats. It's hard to argue numbers. And, our kids across the region, from the 49th to the 52nd, across the board, they play so hard and do so many good things. They deserve to be mentioned by somebody, and I want to be that somebody. And I know we have other media outlets, of course, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. but they do a fabulous job as well. You know, we need to promote our kids because outside our region, people don't know about them. And there's some great kids and great programs, great coaches in this area, and they need to be recognized. So, that being said, let's talk about the boys first. The top 10 RPI this week, number 1 is Harlan County at 25-4. Number 2 is Bell County. The Bobcats come in at 24-5. The third ranked team this week is South Laurel at 17-9. Number 4 is Corbin at 17-8. The number 5 team in RPI is Clay County at 20-8. Number 6 is Whitley County, coming in at 20-8 also. Number 7 is North Laurel at 15-14. Played a tough schedule. Number 8 is Pineville at 18-9. Number 9 is Knox Central at 18-9. And number 10 this week is Williamsburg at 16-13. Top 50 in scoring this week, number 2 scorer in the state is Kyle McClendon from Harlan, averaging 30.3. Number 3 is Trent Noah from Harlan County, averaging 29.8. Number 13 is Kanan Tyree from OBI, averaging 25.2. And number 17 is Sawyer Thompson of Pineville, averaging 24.5. Top 50 in field goal shooters in the state. Number 14 is Gavin Chadwell, Knox Central, shooting 66.8 from the field. And number 26 is Sam Caldwell from Pineville, shooting 64.2 from the field. Top 53 free throw leaders. Number 2 in the state is Trent Noah, shooting 90.4 from the line. Number 12 is Cameron Hall of Bell County, shooting 84.3. Number 16 is Cole Jarvis of North Laurel, shooting 84.1. And number 19 is Colton Rawlings of South Laurel, shooting 84% from the field. Or free throw line, excuse me. Top 53-point shooters in the state. Number 6 this week is Kyler McClendon of Harlan, shooting 32.9 from the field and averaging 3.7 3-point goals per game. Number 34, Jordan Rawlings of North Laurel, is shooting 39.4 from the three-point line, averaging 2.8 three-pointers per game. Number 45 is Jacob Rogers of Oneida Baptist, shooting 40.2 from the three-point line and averaging 2.6 three-pointers per game. And number 50 this week is Maddox Huff of Harlan County, shooting 43.6 from the three-point line and averaging 2.6 three-point goals per game. Top 50 rebounders in the state. We have a bunch of them this week. Number 2 is Gavin Chadwell of Knox Central, averaging 15.4 rebounds per night. Number 7 is Elijah Bundy of Clay County, averaging 13.1. Number 15 is Felix Onasumba from Redbird Christian, averaging 11.6. Number 17 is Jason Armwisi of Oneida Baptist, averaging 11.1. Number 29 is Trent Noah from Harlan County, averaging 10.3. And number 49 this week is Millsboro's Trey King, averaging 9.3 rebounds per ball game. In the team categories, top 50 scoring teams in Kentucky. Number 3 this week is Harlan County, averaging 77.9. At number 28 is Pineville, averaging 71 even. At number 44 is Bell County, averaging 68.3. And number 50 this week is Knox Central, averaging 67.7. Top 50 defensive teams in the state. Number 6 this week is South Laurel, giving up 49.8 points per game. Number 9 is Whitley County, giving up 50.1. Number 36 is Clay County, giving up 54.1. Number 46 is Bell County, giving up 54.8. And number 49 is Corbin, giving up 55.3. Top 50 team margin leaders, margin of wins. Number 17 is Harlan County with a 14-point margin. Number 21, Bell County with a 13.5 margin. Number 24, Clay County with a margin of 13.1. 27 is Corbin with a margin of 12.4. And number 44 is Knox Central with a margin of 10.2. Top 50 field goal teams and field goal shooting teams in the state. We have 2 this week. Number 33 is Bell County, shooting 49.7, and number 38 is Harlan County, shooting 49.4 from the field. Top 50 free throw shooting teams in the state. We have the state's number 1, Harlan County, shooting 78.9 from the three-point line. Number 25, Bell County, shooting 72.8. Number 35, South Laurel, shooting 72%. And number 47 is Oneida Baptist, shooting 71% from the free throw line. Top 50 three-point teams in the state, three-point shooting teams in the state, we have 3. We have number 11, Harlan County, shooting 39.6 from the three-point line. We have number 35, Bell County, shooting 36.9 from the three-point line. And number 41, North Laurel, is shooting 36.3 from the three-point line. Top 50 rebounding teams in the state, got a bunch of them. Number 1 is Knox Central, rebound at 39.6 rebounds a night. Number 11 is Corbin, rebound at 34.6. 18 is Clay County, rebounding 33.4. Number 22, Redbird, rebound at 32.9. Number 29, Oneida Baptist, rebound at 32.4. Number 30 is Pineville, coming in at 32.3. And number 48 is Middlesboro, coming in at 31.1. That would be your boys' state leaders. Let's quickly get over to the girls. First of all, we'll do the RPI top 10 for the ladies. Number 1 is North Laurel at 22.5. Number 2 is Corbin, 18.8. Number 3 is Knox Central at 19.9. Number 4 is Pineville at 19.7. Number 5 is South Laurel, 17.12. Number 6, Jackson County, 18.9. Number 7, Bell County, 16.12. Number 8, Harlan, 17.12. Number 9, Harlan County, 16.12. And number 10, Whitley County at 16.12. Individually, top scorers in the state. Number 3, Ella Cars from Harlan County, averaging 28.4 points per game. Number 8, Nadine Johnson of Pineville, scoring 23.4 points a game. Number 10, Hallie Collins from Knox Central, scoring 23.3. Number 12, Gracie Jo Wilder from Bell County, 22.8. Number 43, Abby Gilbert from Jackson County at 19 points a game. And at number 45, Shelby Mills from South Laurel, scoring 19 points per game. Top 50 field goal shooters in the state. We have number 6, Kylie Shannon at Jackson County, shooting 64.2 from the field. Number 8, Chloe McKnight of North Laurel, shooting 62.1. Number 12, Abby Gilbert, Jackson County, shooting 59.7. Number 15, Brooke Nicholson, shooting 59.4. Number 22, Carrie Lamb of Bell County, shooting 57.6. And number 47 is Lauren Parton of Linkamp, shooting 54.7 from the field. Top 50 free throw shooters. Number 4, Ella Cars from Harlan County, shooting 85.9. Number 22, Hallie Collins of Knox Central, shooting 80.5. 27, Callie Housley of Corbin, shooting 79.5. And at number 33, Brooke Nicholson of North Laurel, shooting at a clip of 78.9 from the stripe. Top 50 three-point shooters in the state. Number 10, Shelby Mills of South Laurel, shooting 37.5 from 3, averaging 3 three-pointers per game. 22, Gracie Jo Wilder of Bell County, shooting 38.5 from the three-point line, 2.5 three-pointers per game. 35, Ella Karst from Harlan County, shooting at 34%, 2.4 three-pointers per game. Number 37, Timberly Frederick from Knox Central, shooting 36.7 from three-point line, 2.4 three-pointers per game. Top 50 rebounders in the state. Number 5, Hallie Collins from Knox Central, averaging 13.3 rebounds a night. Number 13, Carrie Lamb of Bell County, averaging 12.2 rebounds per night. Number 35, Abby Gilbert of Jackson County, averaging 10.6. 37, Brooke Nicholson of North Laurel, averaging 10.3. And at number 50 is Lauren Parton of Lincoln, averaging 9.7 rebounds. Turning to the team leaders. Team scoring leaders, number 5 in the state is Corbin, averaging 66.5. Number 10, South Laurel, averaging 65 even. 26 is Bell County, averaging 60.4. 33, Knox Central, averaging 59 even. 39 is Jackson County, averaging 57.7. And at 41, Pineville is averaging 57.4 points per game. Top 50 defensive leaders in the state, we have one this week in the top 50, and that is North Laurel at number 46 at 43.5 points per game. Top 50 team margin leaders, number 23, North Laurel at 16.9, 46 is Corbin at 11.2, and at 49 is Pineville at 11 points even. Top 50 team field goal leaders. Number 2 this week, North Laurel, is at 48.3 from the field. Number 8, Jackson County is 46.7. Number 19, Bell County is at 44.8. 28 is Corbin, 43.7. And number 32 is Knox Central at 43.5. Top 53 team free throw leaders. Number 11, Corbin, 72.1. Number 20, North Laurel, 70.4. Number 30, Harlan County, 68.7. Number 39, South Laurel, 67.7. Top 50 team three-point field goal leaders. Number 10, North Laurel, 34.6%. Number 11, Corbin, 34.3. Number 15, South Laurel, 33.9. Number 16 is Knox Central at 33.9. Number 18 is Harlan County at 33.6. 24 is Bell County at 33.1. And 42 is Jackson County at 31.7. And finally, team rebounding leaders. Number 4 is North Laurel at 38 even. Number 18 is Bell County at 35.5. And number 23 is Whitley County at 34.3. So congratulations to all those teams and players. I always enjoy reading that. I know it's kind of redundant, but I think it's really worth it that we talk about our kids and we talk about their accomplishments, and I'm going to keep doing that. So if you need to tune me out for a little bit, so be it. I'm going to keep talking. But anyways. So let's go on. Let me get a quick drink of coffee. Let me wet my whistle here a little bit. If you guys are wondering what's in my coffee cup this week, I have a nice rum-aged barrel of coffee, a nice fine ground with I think, and creamer and sweetener of taste. I decided to go New York regular. If you watch Anthony Bourdain, you know what regular is. Regular is cream and sugar, a little bit of coffee. So I went regular tonight. I'm usually just enough to knock the edge off type guy, but tonight went all out, went New York regular, and been a pretty good call. So anyways, we can, I know everybody worries about what kind of coffee we're drinking at the coffee shop. That's what we're having tonight. Rum-based New York regular. All right. Now, let's talk headlines. Headlines are important. Very important. Especially what we're going to talk about tonight. All right. Now, the first headline we're going to talk about is Bush Hamdan. If you don't know who Bush Hamdan is, he is the new offensive coordinator at the University of Kentucky football program. And in his interview, he talked about having a college-friendly offense. And that kind of struck out to me. What did he mean by college-friendly? If you think back to what we've had the last 3 years with Liam Cohen and Rich Scangarello, we had a pro-based system where the quarterback was under center taking snaps, 2 back sets, 1 back sets, and run set up to pass, that kind of stuff. And sometimes pass set up to run, depending on how Cohen went from that first year to that third year. So Hamdan is talking about a college-friendly offense that's going to be based quarterback run a lot. I think that's one thing we talked about at length as fans last year, getting out of the pocket a little bit. You know, and Leary did a really good. Devin O'Leary did a really good. Devin Leary, excuse me, did a really good job of moving the pocket. But there's times he had to get out and go. And it sounds like Coach Hamdan is going with a quarterback run offense that will be balanced. And for you guys that like tempo, we're going to be up tempo and less huddle. I like it. I like it. Statistically, Hamdan has been right top 25 in run and pass. So he has his basis is there. And considering he comes from a Kyle Shanahan tree, yeah, we're going to be balanced. I think we may be a touch run pass, maybe 52-48 run pass, maybe at the most 55-45. I don't see us being 60-40 or anything beyond that. We're going to be pretty balanced. We're going to try. It sounds like we're going to try to take advantage of new quarterback Brock Vandagriff, his ability to scramble, get out of the pocket. We got two great backs coming in and train them. You know, he's going to be a freight train back there. I really feel that way. And you know, we got guys coming in receiver corps, in the backs. You know, we got some guys. So looking forward to our new offense and seeing where we go with that. Next thing, NBA All-Star Weekend, and you know, a lot of you guys are like me, you're sports guys. I didn't like the All-Star game. I didn't like it. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest. And I'm going to be honest with you, and you would be honest with me if you would say you didn't like it either. If you're a sports fan. You didn't. It started All-Star Saturday Night. I have watched All-Star Saturday Night, and if John Cornette was on here, he would attest to this, and David Fee. We've watched that thing since we were 10 years old, so that's 40 years. So that would be going back to 83, 84, that area. And All-Star Saturday Night was just two things. 3-point contest, dunk contest. That was All-Star Saturday Night. You didn't have the rookie game. You didn't have skills challenge. You didn't have any of that. You had dunk contest, 3-point contest. And we got up for that. We got up. We ordered pizza. We all stayed at one house, and that was prime experience for us growing up. But it started with, I thought the rookie game was good. I like how they did it by teams, who had 4 different teams. I like that. That's a good thing. So I shouldn't say all of it was a wash. It wasn't. The one wash was the All-Star game itself. Rookie game was good. I'll go with that. Wasn't good. Skills challenge felt kind of, I don't know. I mean, you know, they had to throw a chest pass through a hole that if you went and put on a house, it would cover most of the front end of the house. I mean, my gosh, if I could throw a pass through that, I don't even play basketball anyways. So, I mean, you know, that was iffy for me. 3-point contest was good. Had 4 guys hit for 27 or 26-27. 4 guys in a row. Shooter. Loved it. Loved that. I didn't like the basketballs. And I'll tell you why. A regular ball, you know this, I'm from knowing basketball, coaching basketball, playing basketball, you know that a shooter looks at the threads, if you will, or the seams. Look at the basketball, you know, and the follow through. And when they were shooting the starry ball or spot ball, whatever it was, I think it's starry, guys, I mean, you got no reflection off the ball or nothing. It's like shooting the ball like you would win at Dollywood, you know, with the kids. And even then, if you win a ball at Dollywood, you had a regular basketball you shot for a free throw. Heck, I know it. I've done it for years. But, I mean, it was too modern, if that makes sense. They were screwing with it too much, I think. Bring back regular basketballs, and if you want an extra ball for a money ball, red, white, and blue. I will never say don't bring back a red, white, and blue basketball. That's my favorite basketball ever made. Red, white, and blue. So, Liz, if you're watching for Christmas next year, I want a red, white, and blue basketball. I can't dribble. Lord knows with my shoulders, I can't dribble, but I want to look at it. But anyways, you get on to the dunk contest. You know, I'm glad Mac McClung won. Local guy at Gate City. The story's wonderful. But Mac McClung needs to be in the league playing. Mac McClung needs to be playing somewhere for somebody. He does. The man can play basketball. I don't give a kitty how tall he is. He can play. And he's athletic as all get out. He can play. He needs to be playing. So it's a shame that our dunk champion is playing in the G League. That's the way I feel about it. To me, it's like if you went to AAA in baseball, got a guy, wins the home run derby, but he's not good enough for the major leagues, but he's playing AAA ball. It ain't right. Ain't right. He needs to play. You know? My opinion. The judges, you know, it would be hard to judge. I think so. But some of these guys are judging, you know, and they're waiting on the impossible to happen. Guys, if you really think about it, every dunk humanly possible has probably already been made at some point in the last 20 years. I don't know what more they can do. I don't. So if that's the case, either get rid of the dunk contest or judge these guys based on fluidity, height, creativity, all those things. You're not going to get to, oh my gosh, dunk again. You're not. McClung won it dunking over Shaq, which, again, Shaq's 7'2". I'm not doing it. He did. But, how many times has somebody been jumped over in the dunk contest? You know what I mean? So, the dunk contest, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't. I was really looking forward to it, too, being an old man. There's my guy. Braden Austin, Jacob Toppin got hosed in the dunk contest. I agree. I agree with that. He should have been a final rather, not Jaylen Brown. When he just jumped over a guy with a darn Michael Jackson glove because nobody says he can go left-handed. Come on, man. Ain't no way. Should have been Toppin. Should have been Mac. I agree with that. There you are, Bob D. I was waiting on you. Where you been? Don't tell me you've been asleep. I won't hear that either. You got babies. I know they don't let you sleep. So I'm glad you're here, brother. Good to see you. All right, let's go back. Let's go on. Our last topic of the night before we call her a day. Let's talk about the Daytona 500. Will Byron wins the 40th running of the day. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm sorry. Rick Hendrick has been in the Daytona 500 40 times, and he wins. I think it was like Hendrick's 12th win. Domination. If you know anything about stock car racing, it goes back to Rick Hendrick. Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, you know, a lot of people say he's a GOAT, you know, and Jimmy Johnson, a lot of people say he's a GOAT, you know. Dale Jr. drove for him. I mean, so the dynasty's there, no question about it. So, you know, congratulations to them. Quickly, let's talk about, got a couple of headlines we're going to talk about before we call it a night. The college football playoff. Let's talk about that. It's starting to come to pass, the 12-team playoff, and where it's going to play. There will be 12 teams, of course. The top 4 seeds, 1, 2, 3, and the top 4 will get a bye into the second round. They get a bye. They don't have to play the first round again. They'll play in the second round. And teams 5 to 12 play, and it'll seed out. 5 plays 12, 4 plays 13, or not, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. 5, 12, 4, whatever, 3, whatever, 2, whatever. they play, and then they'll get the bye coming out to the next round. Now, I thought it was interesting. Excuse me. The quarterfinals and the semifinals will be New Year's Six games, so the bowls will still happen. You're just adding a game in the first round. Is really what you're adding for teams 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're adding a game to them. The top teams, they won't. Of course, they have a first round bye. So that being said, the finals will be a neutral site, just like it always has been. Here's the two I thought was interesting. Here's something to ponder on. Number one, there is no conference qualifiers anymore. So saying that if you win the SEC, you automatically go to the playoff, no. I mean, we don't know they will, but if you win, say you win the Pac-12, you automatically not go. You don't have to automatically go. They're picking the 12 best teams. And my guess, it'll be on ratings and things of that nature. They'll come out more about the stats, about what will be gauged, and I'll be interested to hear that. And the second thing that I thought was really interesting, there is no limit on how many teams from a conference can make the playoff. So if the SEC had 12 teams, and I'm not saying they will, but if they had 12 teams and they were the top 12 in the ratings or whatever they go by, that's 12 teams going to the playoff. I like that. Don't limit the conferences because you have to get so-and-so conference XYZ in. Put the 12 best teams in college football in the playoff. Put them in there. You hurt feelings, you hurt feelings. Top 12 teams should be there. No question about it. What do you guys think? Talk about it. We'll talk about it next week too. The top 12 teams should be there. Not because of there's conferences or what. The 12 best football teams should be there. My opinion. All right, let's close it up, baby. Here we go. All right. I want to thank our sponsors. Of course, without them, we could not be doing this. We want to thank Home Helpers of Southeast Kentucky. And again, if you are in a situation where you need your loved ones to get help and comfort and enjoy the comfort of their home as they age, and you need trusted, experienced caregivers to provide exceptional care where and when you need it, from companionship to housekeeping to meal preparation and transportation, they'll create a care plan that's tailored to fit your needs and budget. Keep the heart of your family at home with Home Helpers. Call 606-657-9441. Home Helpers, making life easier. Thank you, Home Helpers. And thank you to the Blue Room Billiards Hall for your support of the local sports coffee shop. If you are interested in sponsoring in any way, as an individual, as a business, whatever, email us. ShaneShackford@iCloud.com. Email the shop. Let me know. Be glad to talk to you. Talk about pricing and those things, and like I said, anything that you'd like to do, we are definitely got ears for and to listen. So that being said, here it is, guys. This has been a wonderful episode of the Local Sports Coffee Shop. I appreciate all you guys coming in, hanging out with me. Appreciate all the comments. Like I said, when you get a chance, follow our businesses. They help this show tremendously, and we thank them so much for that. So thank you. I sincerely thank you. We're going to get your last sip in. It is now a little bit after 8 o'clock. We have other programming across the social media atmosphere. All Sport Media is going on their show right now at 8 o'clock. Inside the Huddle. No, that's the different one. It's Basketball Huddle. Or basketball, my bad. Edward Hall, Mark Gregory, Ryan Garnett. I'm going to go on their show here in a little bit, talk a little sports with them as well. So get a chance, come on over, we'll chat a little bit. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in this evening. Thanks very much for listening to the Local Sports Coffee Shop. You can find the full show on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, on Instagram. We're there. if you love our podcast and you love what we're doing, I'd be so honored if you go ahead and subscribe to us and leave me a review. Let me know what's going on. Any questions, comments, concerns? Of course, I'll listen. Last comment of the night belongs to... Oh, yeah, I bet. I've been asleep, Coach. I see you, Bobby D, but I still love you anyways. Anyways, that being said, I'm Coach Shane Shackford. I appreciate you for tuning in. I thank you so much. I wish you nothing but love. I wish you joy, and I wish you peace. Thank you.